You are the butter on my toast. Welcome back to you, baby dolls. I've got my cute little Pikachu hat on, and today I want to speak about something. You see, we're speaking about one of the videos I made a short while ago was a lottery ticket purchase on CULT. So C-U-L-T, CULT. And I made a 100x on CULT like 2 years ago. And it went like literally 100x, I'm not kidding, in 7 to 10 days. Bank. And then everybody said it was the future of finance at the top, then it went down. Now, my post that I've made here to share with you, what happened was, I am speaking about CULT, the Ethereum CULT, the quote-unquote real CULT, the CULT with an Ethereum fund treasury. That's the CULT I'm speaking about. But because there's people in the PulseChain community, when I spoke about CULT, they bought the pCULT, which is the PulseChain fork CULT. Now, normally, so this is a chart, right? This is what started happening. So people just bought this up. And, don't worry, no one really got hurt because there's only $1,000 off for liquidity. So people just put in like $100, right? But it's just going to be interesting because it brings up a couple of questions about how the bull market is going to play out. What I'm going to do, friends, is just show you, this is the actual CULT. This is the chart now. And as you can see, this is my favorite. I love these charts. So this is just fantastic. So it's just, I know you're looking at this chart like, what are you talking about? Well, if you want to know, this was the move I was talking about. If you put on a log chart, you'll be able to see the first move I got on it, right? So I think I bought it somewhere like around here, and then it went down. I promise you, friends, I have so many regrets to this day. I remember looking at it thinking, should I add to this? And I remember like, nah, man, all altcoins are going down. Yeah, it's a bear market. It looks pretty bad. I'm not touching it. And what do you think happened? Absolute whack from that point. Literally from this point, you could have added in, bang. Man, 1 ETH would have become 365 ETH in just 14 days. I have so many regrets to that. Oh, I wish I added to my bag, friends. And I scaled out along the way. Now, here's the thing. Put on a linear chart, you get to see the pain. It's dropped so far, so down, and it tapped minus 97%, which is good. That's what I want to see. As well, there's a bonus. If we zoom in, right? If we zoom into the chart right here, this is a weekly super trend, right? It's gone so far down, it finally flipped green. And bonus, it's touching near the 21 EMA on the weekly. So this is what I love to see. And if you want to know, right, you can change it into an Ethereum chart, right? This is the Ethereum pricing chart. Now, I already have this here for you. Aren't you glad you got a friend like me? If you're getting in around here, let's just move it up higher. If you're getting in around here, so what I do is I'm always here to protect you. I will never, ever just say, oh, you got to get in here, whatever. I never even do that. By the way, not financial advice. Go buy bonds, friends. Go. Crypto's risky, can go to zero. But what I like to do is, my method is, I want to draw a box of a rough buy and a rough box of where I think it can go for sells in the future. And what I like to do is I just like to see, okay, if I had to pay up higher, for example, here, see the top of the box? So let's say you had to buy the actual top of the box, this ratio price. So you can see this, it's 2050 if you're watching this in the future. I want to look at the top of my buy box and I'm thinking, what if I get the low end of the sell box? So what I've done is I've gone, well, worst case in my mind. Now, friends, nothing ever goes up, right? 100% chance, you don't know, but I've done a worst case now in planning. I'm like, worst case, if I have to pay up on the way up and then I have to panic on the way down, what do I make out of it? This is still phenomenal. This is 300% on Ethereum. That's a 4x on ETH. That's like worst case in this play out. So that's how you know you're protected. You know what other influencers will do, friends, when I watch them with you? What they'll do is they'll basically, when a coin goes up, this is literally word for word what they do, okay? They won't tell you about anything in cheap zone, right? Something goes up here. Now the coin's up here, right? And then literally it's only like not even a 2x to the target from here to here. Okay, it's just nothing, all right? And what I like to do is if I am looking at anything, I draw on the chart a 2x. I go, all right, if you went up 2x here, do you look expensive on the chart now? Are you still in the cheap buy zone? Most of the time when you and I hear about things, absolutely not. They're already in expensive zones. But in this case, this is why I like it. And that's why it's one of my lottery ticket buys. Now, I don't know if it's going to play out or whatever, but I just think it's worth me looking at the cult community. If you see 3 blood emoji friends, I call them the red jelly beans, but 3 blood emojis in a row, that is the Cult Dao emoji on Twitter. Okay, this is it. See these 3 blood emojis? People will type these blood emojis and then you'll see them around. So it is a fierce and strong community. But my episode here for you today, we've covered like real cult. So where it all came from, pCULT, Cult Dao. You can go watch my video about it again. So I'm just giving you an update and everything's cheap, what I look for, just to help you out. But it made me think about something. You see, with my recent Cult Dao video, the Ethereum cult, okay, some people started punting on pCULT, which was this chart that I showed you. You can see this did like 163%. It's very small movement. It's nothing. There's only like $1,000 of liquidity. So like 20 people put in $50. It's nothing, right? But it just gets you thinking about something. Okay. I'm wondering if PulseChain pumps, so PLS, we're talking about PLS, if the spear pumps and we get sub-communities participating, are they going to start punting on pTokens just because there's a focus on their coin or the coin they're looking at? So, for example, I've just shown you this. If the real cult that I've shown you the first 5 minutes was going up, I wonder how this pCULT reacts. Because here's the thing. We learn this from the stable coins. You see, friends, we learn this from the stable coins. When we will speculate on anything. Okay, we will speculate on anything, and it's very bizarre. We learn from PDI that you don't need. I can't believe I'm saying this. You don't need the crypto to be backed by anything. People don't care. It's almost like a revolution against the system. Because you know what? Screw you guys. One of the funny things, friend, the thing that made me cackle the most of laughter was when we made an S&P 500 meme coin and people buy it. They're like, your S&P is so trash. We're actually gonna make it. We're gonna make an S&P 500 meme coin, and people are just gonna buy it like an index. It just boggles my mind. I'm laughing, right? It's just tears of joy. Just what are you doing? What are we doing here? Oh man. So with the stable coins, theoretically their price should be 0 because there's no if there's no backing for the coin. But the PulseChain PDI coin, it ain't. It just keep going up. There's buyers. We're like, screw it. We're gonna believe in a better tomorrow. It's funny, right? So if the most extreme examples are true like that, also with wrapped Bitcoin, so Bitcoin that's not redeemable for anything, PWBC has a value, and yeah, we'll punt on it. Right. It's just wonderful to see this play out. Now, so I guess Richard's theories about Richard Hart, right, founder of PulseChain and PulseX, his theories about how the casino players would operate, it was true. He goes, I think because of the liquidity bonding and the ratios, people are going to play and trade it around. Now, the volume isn't there though, but there is degenerates playing. Okay, now, what I'm just thinking about is, when it comes to Cult, so I've talked to you about Cult. Cult is an investment down. So they take the treasury tax money, I think it's 0.4% from the volume, they put it in Ethereum, and then they're trying to invest stuff. Now, it sounds corny at the start, but there's insiders into it, like Ethereum insiders. Like, for example, I heard about Cult Dao from the Bankless show, right? Sir Davey Hoffman, he was one of the bottom signals for crypto when it was crying on camera. So Sir Davey Hoffman, he was the one, he did they're nice guys over there at Bankless. They don't like to do any aggressive shilling or get anybody hurt. So they're saying things like, they dropped the hint. They're like, oh yeah, this project kind of happened up. Like, yeah, maybe it's worth looking at. That's all they said. That's all they said right at the start. And then it did 100x after that. Not from their show, by the way. It's how I found out about it. I was like, I'm gonna look at this. What is this name? So when it comes to these, that's our competitive edge, fence. Like, there's meme coins everywhere and people talk, but you have to try to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Like, I know Bankless, right? They probably made thousands of ETH for themselves in profit from just owning ETH and everything, and they get angel investor allocations, and they're in the communications. They're the communicators for Ethereum, that maxi land, right? One of the biggest ones. So they have a reputation upholding. And it doesn't mean they do everything's perfect, but I can tell they try to walk the fine line. So when they're talking about Cult, for example, that's what gave me the kind of like the know-how to go like to navigate it. But here's the thing. Their investment ETH, when I got forked over on PulseChain, it turned into Pulse. So here's the thing. They turned like, I don't know how much is in there. Let's say it was like 2,000 ETH, became 2,000 Pulse. What is it, like 2 cents? So it's worth nothing. And you can see from this chart, though, the pCULT community, like, screw it. Like, that's the funny part. The treasury has 2 cents. Oh, man, you guys are just crazy. But now it makes us think about other coins. So if Cult goes up, does pCULT continue to play around? So does this mean now, if there's a coin that you like in Ethereum land, should you buy the P version of that as just in case, as a lottery ticket for it, right? It's something to think about. It's worthy, right? I do think it's very worthy to consider. But you shouldn't put all your money in there into anything, firstly. But because we want new meme coins, we want new altcoins, new communities, right? That's another thing to think about. And you don't have the risk of people who got the forked copies to like just keep dumping and stuff, right? But we're playing in low liquidity land. So I'm also wondering about, for example, if ChainLink hit $30, right now it's like what, $13. If it hit $30, I wonder if more casino punters continue to trade pLINK. I would assume they do. And I'll just show you like the pLINK chart, for example. This is pLINK, obviously going nowhere. Look, if pLINK just goes from here, let's say to the top, like it's what, 300%, that's like a 4x on your pulse. But it's fascinating to see these, friends, because I can't believe there's ranges that form. You see, look at this. You just look, I've just drawn a floor. Like, it doesn't even have to go up for sure, but you just have like a base and resistance. And I like these. This is what I like. I don't know if you noticed, friends, just giving you some like deep wisdom from like 13, 14 years of trading, because I started off as a spreader, right? Trading spreaders, you're trading ratios between stuff, okay? You have 2 legs. You're long something and short something. Now, in spreader land, we try to adjust our charts to make them look like this, up and down, up and down. We go, oh, sweet, support and resistance. But if you look at outright charts, okay, you've noticed there's no real like ranges. The market never moves like this now. What it does is it moves like up and then it goes like this. It makes like these flags and then it like pops up again and then it fakes out and it does these, right? There's all these resistances get broken. So in spreader land, I grew up trading, looking at it and liking it. And that's why when you chart, for example, pLINK and Pulse, it has this chart that you can see. You can see like this range forming, right? And this is exactly what like we like playing. So it's worth, I think, adjusting some lottery ticket allocations to try to bunny hop your way to outsized returns without trying to hold something forever. In a nutshell, it's easier to go, all right, this low buy, for example, gave me like 5x on my pulse, and then you took your pulse out, and then you went and bought something else at the bottom of its range, and then you got something in on that, and that gave you like a 4x on your pulse, right? Now you've turned 1 times 20. And then you might say, okay, now I'm just going to hold the pulse until it does a 10x. And now that's actually a 200x return from today. So that using ratios is much easier to do compared to trying to find one coin that does a 200x. Because Pulse isn't going to do the 200x, and either of those meme coins probably aren't going to do a 200x. But can you find stuff where you bunny hop? Now, you might say, okay, well, this sounds too easy. Yeah, it is, because your thing doesn't have to move. And what about the timing? You don't really know. But I'm just opening your mind that because we're in the game, well, there is a path for us to try to find stuff to pink it. But also I want to remind you of something. So this is like for risk management, because you might make, let's say for example, I'm just going to give you an example, right? If we go back to this pLINK, for example, let's say pLINK, let's say like literally in a freaking year from now, I don't know, ChainLink is like higher and this thing goes up and let's say it actually hits the top of the range, you get like a 5x on your pulse. The thing is, let's say you turn 10 million pulse into 50 million or whatever. In an ideal world, you would take that 50 million and dunk it somewhere else, all of it. You just go, sweet, I'm just going all in on this one coin. And it's very high risk and it's very like thrilling because it's a dopamine rush because you think, oh my gosh, imagine I made another 10x on this, right? But you increase your risk there because you're traveling later throughout the cycle and your risk of ruin is also still the same. So you might find what people do is, let's say if they made 50 million Pulse, they go, hey, instead of putting it in one of the coins I've chosen, let me spread it out into 5. And just in case I'm wrong. Or let me put some also into PulseX. Okay, let's say the PulseX Pulse ratio is like, because you have less upside, but also less downside in that as well. But this is one way you can win. But you will hear these home run stories at the very end of the cycle. Know that. There'll be people like, for example, I know one of them, right? One of the Hexagon community members and PulseChain OG members, Randy. So everyone knows Randy Hilarski. So Randy, he bunny hopped this. But he doesn't know he did, but he did, okay? But so what he did is, I remember he put some money in ICO. I forgot how much it was. It was something like, maybe it was like $200 and did like 100x, something like that. 100x, that $200 turns into 20K. He sells it, and then he just puts it all into like the Hex adoption amplifier at the start. Now, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was roughly something like that. And then he binked it. So that was it. That was his bunny hop. So he basically he won on one ICO, and then the Hex opportunity came and he binked it. Here's the thing. You're like, man, how lucky were you firstly to find the winner and then to be able to get on top of Hex to do that? Yes, I understand, friends. That's the thing. But I'm just opening your mind that there are different paths compared to the standard, this is the next 300x gem to do that. And like it is a casino. Yes, this does involve, you have to draw supports and resistances, and you have to get into it's. I'm not even gonna say trader mindset, but it is, but not really, because you're still on a weekly chart. Like it takes a long time to get here. It's not like you might be waiting 6, 9, 12 months, right, just to get to these prices. But it's just something to think about, right? There's also another issue: attention spans. So attention spans are very, very short. They're very short. That's why we might find, man, things moving 10 to 20x. That's why they stall out, right? People want to move to the hot new thing after that. And there's so many coins out there, okay? Another issue to consider is new meme coins will appear on Ethereum, but they don't have a P token counterpart because they came in after the fork. For example, there is no P Bitcoin. People have to make one and nominate it. Does it mean it's the same? I don't know. It could be the same. Could their community do it? I'm not sure. But that's one thing that we have to consider. And you can take this home, right? The PulseChain community has already taken things into their own hands. So you have Atropa, PDI, Hex Orange Address, Teddy Bear, and many others. So, in a nutshell, we don't need Uniswap or MakerCoin or even ChainLink. We don't need the existing old guard DeFi coins from Ethereum to have a casino and have fun, right? Because I'm using those words, but the truth is it is actually adding value. You're bringing in people. For example, Mr. B Roots went on Crypto Banter Show. Shout out to Mr. B Roots, friend of the channel. He went on and he's just telling the audience, like, yeah, you guys are degens. Do you want to play and stuff? Teddy Bear's a pretty good move. And guess what? Went up 700%, right? And when I say 700%, he's like, yeah, and PulseChain's going to do well as well. It's a meme coin on a chain that's also undervalued. It's gonna smash in the bull run. So that's what people are coming in to do. Volume and activity. Meme coins are a real thing. And, I think it's fantastic for us to reel in to this comment from Mohammed. So Moe, don't worry, has said, Somi, my friend, I do recommend approaching influencers or well-known investors outside of Pulse community to speak about PulseChain. Good examples. Invest Answers James. Okay, friend, that dude he calls Hex a scam every other day, friends. He ain't touching Hex or PulseChain or anything to do with Richard Hart. It's just not. He's a very straight edge type of dude. When they see the Richard Hart's working and stuff, they can't, okay? Also Kathy Wood and also Shamath Palapupi. So see the names you've used, they are mainstream. So Investor Answers has 500,000 subs or whatever on YouTube, for example. These are mainstream people. For us to succeed in PulseChain, the community to succeed, you have to do what Ethereum did to succeed against Bitcoin. Grassroots. That's what you have to do, which means, you see, you have to adapt to the conditions. And we are adapting, by the way. So we don't have to actually change anything. So I would give everybody a call. Hey, this is an obvious strategy we got to do, but trust me, everything is going fine. Everyone's doing it the right way. The market's chosen and everything seems the right way. And the right way is, right now, no one wanted to say it because you sound like a grifter. But the truth is, the way forward is, look, I hate to say this out bluntly, but everyone, go make meme coins, go make projects, even if, and I don't want to use, even if you think it's going to like not work and people are going to lose their money, whatever, just go. Keep experimenting, keep trying. Just literally just keep trying, keep sending energy there. Keep doing memes, whatever the working in the market, come and launch it on PulseChain straight away. That's actually the way forward. That's actually how you get the PulseX volume up. That's how you get people and eyeballs on. And you're seeing it, right? You're seeing that the Etropa ecosystem, for example, they start launching meme coins. And when I first saw it, I was like, man, there's too many coins, etc. But hey, if they're all liquidity linked and people moving around here and there and people trade, it can survive. So, but here's the right. We don't know though if this will continue forever. You know, what if memes just aren't cool in 6 months? We don't know that. It's just, it seems like there's something weird going on. It's just meme coins, new trash, new poop, new Ponzi, new casino stuff keeps popping up over and over. That's why part of my videos sometimes, friends, I talk about the end of times. I'm like, man, we need a hard economic reset. Like every indicator is flashing. The yield curve is flashing. Everything is saying a hard economic reset is coming. We're just like, people aren't even bothered creating value anymore. They're just deploying absolute trash in crypto. It's just like it's a sign that the economy is kind of sick in health. But hey, you know, instead of like being scared and running out, I guess we just got to like run straight into the bubble and try to make the most of it. Okay. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. Tell mum and dad you do love and appreciate them. Catch you soon.